Talent versus practice. It's an age-old debate in almost any competitive setting you'd find yourself in, and the speedrunning community is no different. So for episode 3 of Behind the Speed, I thought it'd be a fun idea to dive into the question, does talent make an impact on your capability to get a PB or maybe even possibly a world record? Or is it dependent on your willingness to really dig deep and commit to practicing all that a game has to offer? Our guest today is going to make the strong argument and kind of give the proof in the pudding that with enough time, dedication, practice, and passion, anyone, including you, could get a world record in any game they so chose. This run, or this episode of Behind the Speed actually features 2 runs from this runner because of how brief and how fast these runs are. By the end of the episode, you'll see that I am genuinely blown away by how fast these runs are, to the point that I have like a whole entire couple pages of questions left because of just how quick it all went by. It was amazing, which contrasts to last episode where I ran out of questions. So we're getting somewhere. We're finding a middle ground, right? But this episode literally blew my mind. I hope it blows your mind too, because this runner not only has 2 world records, they have world records across a whole entire genre of games. They have world record in Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic Mania, The Good Ending, and they previously held Sonic CD's world record, but previously lost it in, I think, January of 2021, so about a year ago. But they are one of the very few, if not the only person, to have a full board sweep of classic Sonic games. So we are talking to a GOAT. Ladies, gentlemen, and humans, please give a warm welcome in your hearts or in the comments for JoeyBaby69. All right. Welcome everyone to episode 3 of Behind the Speed. I am your host, Spec, and today I am privileged to have an honored guest here. He is the world record holder in Sonic 1, 2, 3, Mania Good Ending, and has 2nd place in Sonic CD. We are interviewing the GOAT of classic games, JoeyBaby69. What is up, Joey?
I'm doing good. I appreciate you having me. I saw you were getting into the content creation of speedrunning. I'm like, hey, you know what? You want to interview? I'm down for it, man.
Yeah. Oh, dude, totally. I'm so grateful to have you here. I think it's going to be so much fun. What run are we watching today, and why did you pick these runs?
So I guess I started running Sonic games around 2017 when Mania came out. That was my first speed game, and I thought it made sense. I enjoyed Mania a lot, so I just went down and just played. Went back and just played the classic ones. Sonic 2 was actually a pretty late addition. I played Sonic Mania, then S3K, then Sonic 1, then Sonic CD. Then I actually went and played Sonic 2. And yeah, this is Sonic 2. This run has gone through a lot of developments over the past 2 years or whatever. There was a good point where previous record holder Mike89/Sega Junkie was the king of the game. He had he had the only 14-minute time of this game for years, and it was the record holder for around 2+ years until something happened in late 2019 to 2020 where a bunch of writers just started to come in, me included, Zaxxon, Super Boom Fan, and we just all dissected the game. And a good year later, the run got down to a whole new minute barrier, which is insane from 2017 to think about.
Wow. That is absurd. Minute barriers are big. I remember a couple years back, this is actually what got me into speedrunning, was somebody saw its video about Sonic 2.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that game's solved. So it actually is a great segue into a conversation. In the beginning of this run, you talk about Mario, which I think is really funny. But and also what you say about Mario, because you kind of shit on it. I love it because I also shit on Mario quite a bit in my channel. But one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot, especially when it comes to the classic games versus the classic trilogy of Mario, is that the classic trilogy of Mario games are optimized to a ridiculous degree. And so when I think about Sonic, I'm like, oh, surely it's the same deal there. Is it the same deal? Is Sonic as optimized as Mario? Or is it, or I guess a better word would be, are all the strats known for Sonic? Or do you think there's still a lot left to uncover for this game?
I'm definitely the one to say that the Sonic trilogy isn't the most optimized. I think the biggest reason is because there just isn't a big amount of runners who were playing the classic Sonic trilogy opposed to Mario. And I think there's a lot of room for optimizations opposed to, for example, like I said, and I'll bring up later, but like I mentioned in my Sonic 2 record, Mario 1,
Yeah.
it's a very simplistic, I mean, I don't want to be like, oh, you just hold right and you win, but there's so little freedom of optimizing the movement, where
Right.
classic Sonic, or at least like specifically Sonic 2, spin dashing is the name of the game. If you can't do good spin dashes, then you're losing time as every spin dash you ever do.
Really?
So there's a lot more to like the movement than just holding right and just mashing the button a lot and getting a spin dash. Like there's like really proper like jumping timings for everything, and it's just a lot of people have been just trying to play more of a, I'm talking about around 2017 or whatnot.
Yeah.
People played, what's the most like optimal without going too crazy with the movement. So there's a lot of like task strats that people just never looked into until like a lot of new runners around 2020, 2021 started to pick up the game and actually apply a lot of strats that no one wanted to mess with at all.
Yeah, that makes sense. And you perform a lot of those task strats in your run. And how do you get so consistent at those strats? Oh, our feed's down, but it'll come back up.
Yeah. There's a lot of trial and error into it because, of course, I'm not alone. There's a couple of folks in the community. I'll name a couple of Iandis and Zaxxon. They've once sat down for like 8 hours on a VC trying to figure out on how to get a 4-second time save consistently on Casino Night Act 1.
That's
where
crazy.
Where you can perform a level wrap, and it requires a lot of, I guess I'll get to the next point of manipulating subpixels. So Sonic, well, the classic Sonic trilogy and other games included, but especially Sonic, subpixels plays a big role in whether tricks work or not, and that's essentially it's a fraction of a singular pixel. So you know how if you're standing on a pixel and you tap a direction very faintly, you don't see Sonic move. He's still in the same pixel, but he's actually is moving a considerable amount, like a different unit of the same pixel. And just because of that slight movement, he can actually have differences whether a certain trick works. You get less jump height off a slope, clip into a wall. Sometimes they don't work if you have bad subpixels. Like it affects so much of the run that it could make or break the speed run just because you got unlucky subpixels.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotta be like frustrating, right? Because can you control it mid-run, or is it just like, I hope this works?
Generally you can, like if the level is very flat, like there's a lot of things that affects your subpixels, like how high you jump, what part of the terrain you're jumping from. Is the terrain you're currently standing on sloped? Are you standing on a flat ground? Or there's any kind of minor movement you do is constantly changing the subpixels. In this run you're looking at, you may have noticed there's a weird split name called cockflip. So there's a certain part of the level where you spin dash towards a spring and you eject yourself all the way up off the water and you go top route. That saves like 4 to 3 seconds compared to going through the water. The reason it's called cockflip, well, the name for it officially, at least what the community coins it, is coin flip. So it's literally Sonic flips like a coin, but there's kind of like a 50-50 aspect to it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So we call it coin flip. You can spin dash on it. If you're lucky, you fly up, you save 3 seconds. If you don't, you go halfway and you like flaccidly fall back down to the water extremely slowly and lose 7 seconds.
Oh my gosh. Is that a run ender then?
If you're going for like really optimal times, like 13, yeah, it's over. Like you want that trick to work. And the reason I call it cock flip is because like I swear to God it's not 50-50. It's like 10-90 or something, for me at least. And it never works until it does, which is rare. So I hate that trick so much, but I do it because that's time save that I want to take advantage of. So
Right.
that's funny. That's like the history behind that.
So when you hit cockflip or any other trick for that matter, how do you keep your composure through the rest of the run and be like, all right, you know what, like this is gonna be fine. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna finish this run. I'm gonna PB.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I actually don't have the mentality at all because I've been in each of these splits. I probably lost a run at some point. So I've endured it. I've endured it enough to know that, okay, well, this run can die at any point. So I'm kind of laxed. A lot of people would kind of see this like, you know, if you're ahead by a good amount of time, you know, halfway into the game, whatever, you know, I can do it, whatever. I feel like doing it enough, you kind of practice yourself to kind of keep your composure because, you know, the run can die at any point, you know.
Yeah.
It's not smooth sailing until you beat that game. So I've gotten to the point where what's the word I'm looking for? I guess I'm pessimistic. Like, I come at it with a negative mentality. I don't know, that's the best strategy to do it, but it keeps my nerves really tame. Just expecting the worst at every level. It works out. I'm like, okay, that's cool. It's gonna die anyway, so it's like whatever. So like, it kind of like keeps me from like not getting too, you know, overzealous of like my performance. Like, I'm just keeping it lax, trying to be like, you know, keep my composure in check.
Yeah, when I was talking to Deku, I was asking him like, how do you not like pissed off? And so he runs Sonic Heroes, and he's like, how do you not get pissed off all the time when you're running one of the hardest 3D games? And he's like, I just don't ever get attached to a run. And I'm like, how do you do that? How do you not get attached to a run?
That's funny because I mean, I get some attachment to it, especially when I practice a certain trick or whatever. Because like, this is something that's like hard for me to break out. But the more I practice a certain trick, the more I feel like I deserve to get it to work.
Yes,
in a run, right?
yes, you get it.
Like you spend an hour on it. Okay, there's no way in God's green earth is gonna mess up, and it messes up anyways. Like, that's when like it loses me. Like, so I tend to hate practicing just before a stream because then I'll get too like attached to a certain trick or a level, whatever, that I put the most time into making sure it's correct. Just so I just come at it with like a, you know, whatever. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If I put too much time on something, then it kind of leads me to, you know, just be like, oh wow, what the fuck? this is bullshit. It's like, and then it's like I kind of like lose my focus, and it just messes up the whole run.
Right. And so would you say then your practice has been more like full runs then? I mean, you got 8,000 attempts here, and this is like what? Like, would you say it's more full runs, or would you say no, it's ILs, and then I kind of work my way out there?
I generally do a lot of practice like the night before, or usually I don't think it's planned out. It just happens to be that way because I tend to be pretty lazy when it comes to like, okay, I'm gonna go stream. I should just practice, but no, I'm just gonna stream anyways or whatever. But I guess like whenever something comes from like the community, like let's say like a new time save is found, I generally practice it in like in an IL aspect. So I just want to say that I got the time, like, you know, show off that I can pull off an IL, but in the same time it works as practice because like, you know, I'm doing the IL 100 times. So it's like recently like a new time save was found for well, one of the few stages you saw earlier, Aquatic Ruin 1. It wasn't done in the run, but it was found after this run. There was like a certain section where you can skip through blocks and you save a second. So I spent like maybe 2 hours ILing it. And then eventually I got really good at it because I just kept doing it over and over again. So like, yeah, like ILs and just practicing not before stream seems to like help me decently.
Yeah, it makes sense. Also, Labras, thank you so much for the raid. Definitely appreciate it. Next question for you. I actually know the answer to this, but I want viewers and listeners alike to know this about you because it's a segue question, I promise. What controller do you now use to play classic Sonic games, or at least Mania?
So there's technically two answers to that. So if I'm playing on console, I play on a standard. I don't have it on me right now, but I play on a general 6-button controller for Genesis.
Okay.
But if I ever played a game on PC, I use this bad boy right here.
Oh my goodness!
This massive behemoth right here.
Behold,
this beautiful succulent beast right here. This is like, I don't know, like it's such an arbitrary way to play the game, but man, if once you get it down, it's like, I don't know, spin dashing becomes like there's a thing about Sonic 2 or Sonic games in general where, you know, if you spin dash enough, like eventually it really gets like, I don't know, like your hands get cramped, especially when you're trying to like play the game for hours on end.
Yeah.
Like eventually, like, you know, it hurts, you know, got to keep your, you know, your hands in check. But playing on arcade stick really has not hurt me at all. Even after like hours on hours of playtime, it seems to just never affect me.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I don't know if you're connected with the Melee scene at all, Smash Brothers Melee scene, but they have they like a couple of years ago came out with a digital controller called the Box, and so instead of using a GameCube controller, they use the digital controller, and it's ergonomic. So, which is kind of the whole entire point of it. Which I actually want to get to start running classic games, because I'm like, I bet that feels a lot better, especially after watching you do it. But
I mean, hey, like it's definitely doable. I get the question a lot, like, what controller can I use? And there's really isn't a exact answer to that. There's so many top runners that uses like Xbox One controller, keyboard, 6-button, arcade stick. It's like there's no exact answer. The true answer is, what are you most comfortable? Because I swear this is probably the most obtuse like controller you can use, and it's probably, you know, something you can actually get a top time with. Like,
right. So this is probably obvious, but I'm assuming you play fighting games then?
Yeah, I've recently been playing Melty Blood Type Lumina that came out like around September or whatever. So I've been playing that, which is like I've had this arcade stick for like 11 years. It's a Mad Catz Tournament Edition Round 1. You can if someone knows their sticks, you can tell that like the buttons are a little different. It's modified with like a metallic look to it. Because I'm thinking of like actually modifying this stick here, like the artwork.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for my plexiglass at the moment. But once that bad boy gets all situated, you know, we're good to go.
Yeah, Labris literally said, I was so confused by what it meant. I'll pull it up. He said, man, my chat is not working with me. He says, is that a Mad Catz TE1 I see?
Yeah, that's the OG right there.
That's awesome. But has there been any overlap with the fighting game community and the speedrunning community for you?
Honestly, I haven't even been very fixated with, like, I don't think I even been part of a fighting game community. I just kind of played it amongst like friends, like IRL friends, and, you know, casually, whatever. Not all the time. Like, I do like try to like get good.
Whatever. I'm with you. I'm with you.
You know, like get good in the sense of like, can I win multiple games in a row online? Like I've played like locals here and there.
Gotcha.
But like I guess specifically like Street Fighter 4 and Marvel 3. Like I enjoy those games a lot, but I was never like, you know, wow, look out for this guy. This guy's insane or whatever. I was never that guy, but I did enjoy my dang time when I played those games. I haven't played fighting games in a while. I've recently picked it up again because of Melty Blood. So it's been a recent DIY project to like modify my stick, just to give me a reason to be like, okay, well, I went all this effort to modify. I might as well play fighting games again, right?
Oh yeah, so. There's like I have like a stupid. I'll show off my controller. I'll show you guys the bad boy. This is my GameCube controller for Melee, and every single day I just want to go into the SA2 chat and be like, who wants to catch these hands? And it's a Melee. like I don't know. I don't know if I could like do the overlap. I feel like it'd be like seeing somebody that you're not really close with at like work, right? But seeing them at the grocery store, be like, I could talk to you. I totally could, but I'm not going to. But
oh, don't mess with that. Don't mess with that guy. Look at his controller. I'm so waiting for I'm looking at mobile, like the stream. So my reaction is super delayed because I'm waiting for you to pull it out from mobile or whatever. I'll see it in a minute.
Oh, okay. But there's the reason why I bring up the fighting game community, because there's a debate that I'm gonna port over to the speedrunning community right here right now. But there's a debate in the fighting game community, and it's a recurring topic that I don't want to butcher it. I wrote it down. Is there such thing as natural talent / aptitude in video games, or is skill in a game solely the result of grinding? What do you think?
Man, I don't know. Like, I definitely think there's like some grind to it, because I want to say, like, you know, not even to toot my own horn or whatever, but like, you know, I've grinded Sonic and, you know, the trilogy enough times where, like, you know, I'm, you know, definitely up there, you know, in terms of like just getting times. But like when I play fighting games, it's like that kind of like skill doesn't transition. I mean, I know they're completely different things, whatever, but like my will to grind it is not as there. Maybe being part of a community would help a lot. Maybe like there isn't a drive to it, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I don't have like a group of people to be like, you know what, you know, let's play some friendlies, let's play some casuals, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't like have that like bubble. So I feel like if I think there is like, you know, some aspect where like, you know, it just comes natural. Like you just have this good sense of like what to practice, how to practice, you know, how do I get better at a certain something? Like things come naturally. I don't think like you're ultimately not capable of getting good if you're not. I mean, I don't know how you define like naturally gifted or whatever.
Right.
Like, I think that's like super subjective. Like I think if I didn't bother to grind as much, then obviously I wouldn't be, you know, getting like the times I get in classic Sonic. But like I think like if you just have the right mindset and you grind enough and put a lot of time to parts of like your game that matters.
Yeah.
Like, I guess that goes for like, you know, for fighting games, you know, neutral, you know, zoning, whatever, little things like that. Then I think eventually anyone could be relatively, you know, competitive. I want to like kind of go off topic just because this run is about to end.
Yeah.
There's a split called Boner Shit City. So that is one of the hardest stages in the run. It's very sub-pixel manipulated and RNG. RNGs, I use quotations.
Right.
So there's a boss fight where you manipulate Tails to keep Robotnik in the ground so he doesn't fly up and you lose like 6 seconds for it. So there's a random chance where Tails can choose to jump on his own and it messes everything up. Or the worst part, a ring can literally fall through the floor and you're ringless. So if you get hit, you're dead. And that's something you don't have any control. You do the setup, which requires like multi-frame perfect inputs to not only get the level wrap, but also get the boss fight to work as intended. So getting all that to work out in a run, and in a good pace as well, mind you, is super nerve-wracking. And that level has only lost me like 20 runs or whatever. and this fight right here, so there's multiple ways to go about the fight. Yeah. But the optimal way is to get the 12-0, which is a 1 cycle. So you see like you can jump in between, like basically hit Robotnik's ass in between the flames and his leg. The hitbox are way bigger than it looks. Really? So it's really easy to die there. Of course, you go there with no rings, and if you die, you lose like 30 seconds because there's no checkpoint anywhere. Yeah. But if you want to save 7 seconds on the fight, you literally risk it for the biscuit and hope it all works out.
You could have still gotten sub if you had not gone for the risky strat, right?
Yeah, I could, but like, it's like I have a chance to get a really low 13 5x. It's like I was not gonna lose the opportunity. It helps, like, just because like I said, I'm like I kind of go into it pessimistically because, you know, I've only lost runs there like 100 times, so I do it, but with the sense of like, oh, it's over, you know, whatever. I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna complain. I'm gonna get upset about this. It's not gonna work. So when it did work, I like popped the hell off when it worked. Because like I just didn't expect it to work out.
Yeah, your reaction to it. If you guys are, I'll put the link in the description. This goes on YouTube as well, so I'll make sure to link these runs in the YouTube description. It is one of my favorite pop-ups I've watched. But I think that is just incredible that you were like at the end of the run, you're like, I could still get it, but like, why not? Why not go for the time save? Is it terrifying at the very end of that game to be like, all right, yeah, I just fighting Death Egg Robot, which is probably one of the hardest bosses in Sonic games, period.
Like I've always like theorized, like if I would make a tier list of all 3 Sonic games, like 1, 2, and 3, if I would put level to level, act to act, and tier them on like hardest levels of the whole run, I think Death Egg would be top 5 easily.
Really?
There's not even a glitch involved. I think it comes down to like precision and the biggest one, nerves, because Death Egg is like, you know, it's not random. First of all, I think I wouldn't put it top 1 at all, not even close, because Death Egg is really hard, precise, and the time loss of messing it up is huge, but it's not random. Like if you're consistent, you could get it 100 times like in a row. It's possible, but going at it in like PB pace, let alone record pace, it's a completely different fight. I can't express how much different that fight is when you're actually in pace. It's such a nerve-wracking experience.
Do you just have to like completely disassociate or like just like tone out the fact that you're at the end of the run? Like
yeah, like everyone who's ever been in that boss fight, like an extremely good pace.
Yeah.
They all resonate with how I feel. Like my hands, I don't feel my hands, dude. Like I can't, like I'm nervous. Like, wow, my palm's sweating. I can hardly hold my controller. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I zoned out and it was all a blur. Like, I don't remember anything. It's such a, yeah, it requires a lot of precision for that fight. But yeah, I'm really happy with that Sonic 2 run.
Oh yeah, for sure. So now we're into your Sonic 3 run. We're already through Angel Island. It's crazy with this game, because as I write all the questions, I try to like pace them out and make sure that we're still acknowledging the run. But oh my god, dude, you're just that fast. You are just that fast that it's all going by with the questions. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but
in like an Angel Island zone, it's like one of the very few levels that isn't like a lot of Sonic 3's biggest, like, you know, that sticks out the most is the glitches, the skips. Like, they're humongous. You skip everything, but like Angel Island's like the only zone that's very tame. Like, it almost looks like a normal run for a second there.
Yeah, and it is. Were there any glitches? I don't think there are any glitches in it. Are there?
And at the end of Angel Island 2 there is. So it may not be obvious, but like you're supposed to watch a cutscene with Knuckles for him to break the bridge. But there's a memory manipulation when you're running away from the, I don't know what you call that thing, like the flying ship that shoots the missiles down at you.
Yeah.
There's a certain like type of movement you do, not to get into too much detail, but basically like you make the game just not load at the cutscene and you save like 5 seconds. That's like pretty much the only glitch that that level has.
Man, I love whenever runners start doing arbitrary code execution or memory manipulation. I think that stuff blows my mind. I'm like, how do y'all even find that stuff? Yeah. But going along with that though, so you kind of said like, I don't know what a better term for it is, but like essentially the meta behind classic Sonic games have kind of really shifted over the past couple of years. Were you involved in finding those glitches, or is it just like someone found a new glitch and you're like, yeah, I will, let's do it, I'll put it in the run, and then it's just all kind of came together in one glorious thing?
I will say that I have been part of like some discoveries, not all of them. A lot of it goes towards Cresm, which is one of our of the few tabs in the community, especially for Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Cresm has found a bunch of tricks for this game. Okay. Con as well, he's also a tasser. They've just found a lot of stuff. They implemented in their tasks, and like you said before, like a lot of things that wasn't found, or like, you know, was found recently. A bunch of that has been, I like to say, like, it's been known for a while, but no one wanted to do it in runs. It's like, oh, Sonic 3 is the game. Okay, for Sonic 2, it was kind of like a lot of people's go-to game to actually, like, you know, get a good time, whatever. People look at SUK as like, oh, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna get a time, be happy with it, and go away. Sonic 3 is the game you want to learn when you want to flex. because there's like a lot of stuff that goes for like every trick. They're like completely different from each other, and there's a lot of people that don't want to put in, you know, the grind to go through, which I guess I can understand. If someone told me they want to learn a Sonic game for the first time, which one you recommend? I would never recommend this game. I would recommend it if you want to break a game wide open. Yeah, if you're into that, for sure. Because like getting into it casually is like if you want to learn the skips, like, you know, like learn what they do, how it is done, it's gonna take some time. But when they work, they work. So I guess a good example while I'm here is Marble Garden. So there's 3 things that are happening right now. There's a vertical screen wrap. If a level infinitely like wraps vertically, like Marble Garden, like if you go like up, if you go all the way to the bottom of the screen, you eventually wrap back up. If you hold down the screen and jump, you make the screen like wrap vertically 1 time. When you're off screen, objects are deloaded. And you can use that to clip inside of a wall that's usually blocked off by a spring, so it kind of clips you inside the floor. And then you can do a level wrap, and then you end up in like a out of bounds area, like just like a garbage area of Marble Garden. And there's like technically reminiscences of Act 2 still loaded in Act 1. So you basically backtrack to where the Act 2 boss trigger is, and then you start the level inside the ground. And that triggers the capsule to come in because, you know, you kill the Act 2 boss, but you're in Act 1 still. But because you kill the Act 2 boss, that's usually the game's cue to trigger the cutscene to go to the next zone, even though you haven't done Act 2 properly yet. So it's like
insane.
It's a mouthful and a half, and 90% of the stuff would not been known if Cresum didn't look into this, sat down, you know, trial and error, figure out not only how to do it and if it's possible, but also make it viable to do. So a lot of credit goes to him.
I think that's probably the hardest part about glitch hunting. That I run a game. I run Sonic Unleashed for the Wii, which is not a popular game. We have 2 active runners. We're very small, but I do seldom glitch hunting, and I think the hardest thing about it is, 1, to know about the game, to know how the game works, and then 2 is you can find some stuff for sure. You can find a lot of stuff, but how practical and how implementable is it? And the answer is that 90% of the time when you're tasking it, it's a no. And then when you find that 10%, it's like, oh shit, this is awesome. And you kind of go for it. But
like the Oh no, go on.
I was gonna change topic, so you go on ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna like kind of bring up, like you said, well, I guess what I said, that a lot of people that would kind of want to run Sonic for the first time I wouldn't recommend this game. Even though it's kind of sucks to say, because there isn't a lot of runners that play S3K, even though I love the game a lot. I love it to death. It's actually my favorite Sonic run to do. Sonic 3 Knuckles is my favorite just because of what you can pull off.
Yeah.
And I wish more people run it, but I can understand, like, if you're a new runner, you wouldn't want to do something that's kind of outlandish. Like, people look at Sonic like, oh, jump, spin dash, haha, Robotnik. And it's like, this is like 180 of what you expect.
Completely different game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like these levels are like, can you do the skip? Oh yeah, all right, next level. So it's like Carnival Night 2, like I don't remember what the stage looks like glitchless. I don't know. It's like a 3-minute long level,
it's
but you
fun.
can do it in like you can do it in 40, whatever. I mean, okay, I generally know how to do it glitchless, but like you can do it in 31 seconds, so it's fine. So it's like it's such a different beast, and obviously, like I said, 3 minutes is way more than 32 seconds. So messing up a trick equates to, oh, well, I guess I'm resetting. And the games doesn't save by act, it saves by zone. So if you mess up somewhere in Act 2 to the point where, I can't beat the stage now, let alone I'm soft locked, then you're all the way back. In some cases, you're all the way back at the previous zone. For Carnival Night Act 1, or Marble Garden, actually, when you beat Marble Garden in the glitched way that I do in the record, the game doesn't properly save your progress because you never finish Act 2.
Right.
When you finish in Act 2, the file select updates you to the next zone. So if you reset and you start up the game, it shows you the Carnival Night. Like your next zone is Carnival Night. But doing it that way, it doesn't save. So if you reset the game in Carnival Night 2 after doing Marble Garden the way I do, you'd actually have the file select still say Marble Garden. So you have to do Marble Garden again just to even try it again, which is like, that's like a 5+ minute time loss just for messing up a trick, which is really bad.
It's just a reset at that point, right?
Essentially. And it's like, that's the kind of thing that people look at, like, why do I want to run a game that's this punishing? Which, you know, it's just how the game. Yeah. Oh, what's that?
I run all day stages for Unleashed, and I finished a run 25 times. I ran it 3,000 times. So I get the not appeal of a of a grindy category. People are like, should I learn this game? I'm like, if you hate yourself, sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the funny answer to give to someone. Like I will laugh if someone told me that, but like if someone wants to like actually be genuine and be like, I want to run Sonic. Do I run Sonic 3 or Knuckles? I'll be honest with them. It's like, I mean, there's better if you want something more like something that you can run without pulling your hair out, then yeah.
Right.
But overall though, like it's like a game where if once you know the trick, the levels become not too bad because especially for launch base, the level is, you know, launch base 2, but the glitch you do here, which I guess I'll explain briefly. This is
insane, yeah.
So when you get hit by the flybot, you can, inside the elevator, you can actually spin dash on it. So there's a certain frame window where you want to release spin dash during the elevator part, and you actually clip out of the elevator and you can level wrap to the end of the stage, which is actually Knuckles' boss fight. So Knuckles' boss fight is still loaded into the Sonic and Tails run for some reason, which is good because the game is programmed to end the stage by defeating one of them. Knuckles normally fights 2, but since there's 2 on screen, you could just be like, all right, I'm going to kill one boss, because the game's coded to end the stage when a boss is killed, not 2, because you're not Knuckles. So if you keep one alive and then kill that boss when the game has registered this is Act 2 now, the game will be like, oh, you killed the boss in Act 2. Well, you win, and then you leave launch phase entirely. It's like a minute plus long stage and not 5 minutes of gameplay. So
that is
insane. Like, it's like once you know what to do, it almost becomes kind of easier. I mean, like, it's still hard to do, but once you know the trick,
right?
Like, you're gonna get out of launch base up for 1 minute every time instead of like playing 5 minutes of the zone, you know?
Right.
So it's all a matter of like, can you do the trick consistently? If you can, then you kind of breeze through the stages usually.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So I guess the idea though of like the frustration that kind of can come along with grinding and with playing a game, in general, really. And I wanted to ask you this as someone that is number one in not only just popular games, but also like essentially 4 games, and I would say Sonic Mania is really popular. But you're number one in that. What do you think is for a speedrunner, for anyone that's like, I want to get into speedrunning or maybe Sonic or whatever game, what do you think the point of it is? I was thinking about this and wondering about the mentality and kind of the perspective. Is it about I'm going to use like thematics or like genre stuff from literature, but like, is it like man or person versus self, like trying to figure out my limit, or is it person versus game, and that I want to be someone who leads the way in discovering how far can this game go? What would you say that your approach to the game is, and not everyone can be number one. So what would you say to other runners who are coming into it and are figuring out how to start speedrunning? What would you say to them? What should your motive be?
So I've always like felt that like for new runners that just because I'm a record holder doesn't mean I know everything.
Right.
There's new things found every day that I'm not aware of. There's currently like a runner that's currently playing Sonic 3 and Sonic 2. Eandis, he's been grinding this game countlessly. He actually almost bopped my time yesterday.
Wow.
So I could have just been like, oh, yeah, I'm second place. I'm not record holder. Don't listen to me. But like, like there's new stuff found like, you know, every other time. And for all I know, you know, something revolutionary can be found. There's currently like a I wouldn't say it's like a what do you call it when you put money on the line for someone to find a trick? Like
A bounty.
A bounty. There we go.
Yeah.
Like there's like a theoretical Sanopolis 2 level wrap. So Sanopolis is like a 2-minute long stage.
Yeah.
If you found a way to level wrap, or maybe get like a soap glitch, whatever the face to the floors, you can actually beat the stage in less than a minute, which would be huge for this game.
Yeah.
There's nothing currently known about it being possible RTA, but if something like that's found, then it's like that would be amazing. So I guess just get back to the point, like I kind of do what I know, I kind of do what I practice. If one comes into this game and be like, oh, this is so intimidating, I don't know. There's not really a finite way to play these games. Like there's like multiple ways you can tackle it. And sometimes and the way I ran the game is that like, okay, this at the time when I ran this game, Zaxxon was the record holder, which was like a 34-minute time. In my mind, I always felt like, how can I go faster? But more importantly, what's not known that I can take advantage of that no one has?
Right.
So there's a trick later on in this run, DefX specifically, where I found the 20-second time save, like just by accident, like randomly messing with like a trick, like messing with something else. And that led me to like, not only like, I think I got that much later though, like while I was grinding for sub 30.
Yeah.
But those kind of things is like exciting because like I, in some cases I find glitch hunting could be more fun than running in general.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, there's something rewarding, like I wouldn't say waste time, but spending a lot of time on like one level for like countless hours. Just think of a hypothetical, theoretical, what if, one-off chance, stab in the dark. I'm going to just bop my head against this wall. What if I just clip into it? I don't know. Just a hunch,
Right.
And when it randomly works, it's like, holy shit. I can't wait to tell people in the Discord what I found.
Yes.
So it's like, those are the greatest feeling. That like Mania, you mentioned Mania earlier, that Mania was a game that like, it's a newer game for sure. So there's a lot of untapped potential of what can be done, especially when the game was fresh. I say that I found like maybe 80% of all the skips in that game because I just found it fun. I found joy just finding things that no one thought was possible. Sonic and Tails can skip the entire Puyo Puyo, which is insane. It's the biggest RNG run, part of the run.
And it's just eliminated.
It can lose a minute, and took me a couple like months to years to like kind of structure what the route we have now for that game. But it all came together, and all of a sudden, like, so I guess like I know we're talking about S3K, but I'm gonna bring up Mania for like 2 seconds.
Dude,
here.
Go for it.
Mania was a game that no one ran, at least like religiously, for like 2 years. I'm talking like around 2019 to 2020. Early 2021, just there was not much people were in the game. Everyone who probably started playing Mania just kind of drifted off to classics, just because like I don't know, a lot of the community is just more actively there. So Mania kind of just had a point where there was just no one running in the game.
Yeah,
and I came back to the game eventually, just because, well, I don't know, I just want a chance to go back at it, see what I can get. And I looked into the game a bit, and I found a really reliable Puyo skip method just out of the blue. And then I never thought it saved 40 seconds. And then from a category that had 0 activity, now there's like 6-7 active runners now that can all reliably do Puyo skip, which is amazing to me. Like, it just takes like taking the most garbage stuff out the run. And all of a sudden people are like, oh, hell yeah, I love this game now. Why didn't I play it earlier or whatever? But I know why, because no one want to do Puyo and lose 2 minutes because you're not good at a obscure puzzle game or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, it's like after all the discoveries, it just got a lot of attention, and now it's nice seeing like a game that just got no attention to now everyone's actively, whoever's involved with the game playing it right now are like actually willing to grind out that game now, which is nice to see.
That's crazy. I get, it's so funny that you mentioned the activity, because for me, when I had just played Mania, it would have been 3 years, no, yeah, 3 years ago. So that would have been 2018. I think Argix still had world record at this point, so it was a while back. And I remember watching his run and being like, "That's it! Like the game's solved." Because I didn't know speedrunning, and also because like I had just played the game casually, I had no idea. But yeah, it's crazy that like I was when I was looking at it, I was like, I could never get into speedrunning because all the things that they're doing is just insane. The movement's insane. I don't even think there was a skip in the run yet though. At that point, so. But yeah, just the difference in perspective, it made me laugh. But so you've been running now for about 4 years, right?
4.5, yeah. So
Four and
pretty
a half.
much like a good amount of time, yeah.
And so in that, did you experience like immediate success, or like when did you start figuring out? Or I don't want to use this term because it's such an overused one, but when did you start to like get good at the game?
Um, it's hard to pinpoint like for Mania because I think like everyone was kind of starting out like fresh. So
Right.
I wouldn't say like Mania is like the part where I felt like, okay, wow, I'm so good, I'm flexing or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
because like everyone was kind of like on the same footing. So, but like after Mania, I started playing S3K, and that was like the territory where I felt like, okay, well, this game's like 20 years old, right? Just figure
Yeah.
it out. There's no way I can get close to that. Maybe I'm just a one trick pony, whatever. That was the kind of thought process I had for a little bit. But like, you know, it was also something that, you know, like I said before, a lot of people who ran the game, you know, didn't really want to go all out and go for every trick because, you know, there's a really we're gonna get to that in a bit in this run. In Lava Reef 1, there's a trick where it saves you almost a full minute and you have one single shot to get it. Um, in Lava Reef 1, there's a monitor that pops up from the ground, and you can clip into the floor going under the monitor when it pops up that one single time. And if you can pull that off, you can level wrap and get to the end of Lava 2 without even doing like most of the stage.
So that's what the chat was
And
talking about. I read monitor. And I was like, oh, I guess he's playing on monitor. So I wrote a question about CRTs. I was like, do you not play on CRT, dude?
no, no, yeah. So yeah, the monitor is just the fire shield that pops up, and you get one try. You can slip off the monitor. It can crush you. It can drop you through the floor. You can break it by accident. If any of those happens, it's GG's. It's over. Because
Wow.
losing the messing up monitor clip it's the biggest time save in the run, and you get one shot at it. If you mess it up, that's it. It's over. I mean, if you're going for like, you know, sub 30 attempts, it's definitely over.
Right.
Because so like this trick has been known for like a long time. And I kind of like glanced at like older runs, you know, out of curiosity years back. And I've always noticed like there was hardly anyone that's ever done it. Like top times usually just bail out. Like they don't even bother. They'll go for everything else, but they
Right.
won't do monitor clip.
Just
So
because of the
like
risk. Right.
yeah, pretty much. And like the only runner that I believe that really gone for it, at least like back in like 2018, maybe 2017 or whatever, was Sega Junkie, Mike89. He
Yeah.
just got it out of a whim. So I guess like in people's minds, like, wow, it's over.
Right.
The run's dead. It's over. You know, no one's going to beat that. And that was a 36 at the time. And since then, a lot of runners came into it. Zaxxon specifically, there was a point like when I started speedrunning around 2017 when Mania came out, he did as well, and he also had his like reign in the Sonic games, got record in all of them, and there was just like I said really early on in the interview that there just wasn't a lot of optimization. Like there was still a lot of things that could be found. It's just no one has put it together. The strats are known partially,
Right.
but no one wanted to do it, especially with a level like, you know, Lava Reef 1 with the monitor clip.
Right.
So it just took someone to actually sit down and pull it all together. And, you know, now you got times like 35s, 34s, and we've dropped all the way down to sub 30, 29, 57. And it could slightly be dropped even lower if more things are found. But until someone finds it, it's like, yeah, this game's has changed a lot from 2018 to now. It went down like around 7 minutes or so.
That's crazy.
Opposed to Sonic 2's a minute, which is still insane for a game like that.
Right.
But yeah, like there just wasn't a big amount of like runner contribution. I wouldn't say contribution in general because obviously those tricks were known, and Kresm and Khan, the testers I previously mentioned before, they've sat down and looked through all these tricks. Khan posted a solo Sonic task for this game around early 2020, and that adopted a new strat for Mushroom Hill 2, which we didn't consider to do because wow, that looks hard. And then Zaxxon decided just to look at it for like 10 minutes and be like, wow, this is consistent. I can do it in runs now. 20 seconds time save. I'm like, oh, I guess I'll do it now. So it's like, yeah, it's like just little things like that. Like people just kind of add into the run. It's like, it's nice seeing like just the progression of just, oh, you know, that's task only until like you sit down and actually like looking for an RTA viable setup. It's good to see.
Right. Yeah, that is insane. When was the moment when you started running and you were like, holy shit, I can sweep all the games?
I think it was sometime after, like, it was such a weird moment because this was when like a lot of stuff has been getting discovered. So when I got back to, when I ended playing Sonic Mania, I started to like, okay, I'm gonna play the Sonic trilogy games now.
Yeah,
that was around the time where big time saves were being found, or like stuff that like, because around that time, a lot of like older runners, a lot of OGs in the community, like HDL and Sega Junkie, they just haven't been as active. So I guess you could look at it as free real estate because there wasn't like anyone kind of pushing that time down. People look at Mike 89's 1458 and just be like, you know, it's over. Close the book. Sonic 2's done. So there's little time saves being found, but no one's really doing, you know, the runs to get a faster time until Zaxxon came along. So around that time, that was when I was starting getting into it. So I just applied what was known and tried to just form my own run, and that got into the same level as like, you know, Mike 89's and Zaxxon's. And eventually I did get the times around that time, and beyond 14 minute for Sonic 2, beyond 30 minute for S3K. And a lot of it was like, wow, with all this time save, I can actually push it down even lower. And for Sonic 1's case, there was a incredibly hard skip. Labyrinth 3, if I alluded to like the time saves of like what trick do I think is the hardest of all of the trilogy? Lab 3 level wrap is number 1 by a long country mile. It saves like 50 seconds. It's maybe quadruple frame perfect and sub pixel dependent. It's an incredibly hard trick. If you don't get it, it's over. So okay, so that trick right there for Death Egg, that wall clip, that was found by me. It basically like, there's a very precise sub pixel manipulation clipping into the wall there. There's a chance you can get crushed. There's a chance you can get soft locked in a room. And there's like a really precise movement I do going into the conveyor belt that actually clips you into the floor, but like in a part of the wall where you can actually zip to the right, and you can skip like 20 seconds of the level, which is crazy. You know, 20 seconds is a big time save for a 30-minute game. That's something I like by accident, just messing around.
That's crazy. Was it just like IL practice, or was it like were you looking for something else and then accidentally did it and you were like, oh, okay, fuck. Cool.
I was looking for like, I was like theorizing if it was possible, but I didn't think I was getting much out of it because it was looked at before, and then there's like a air pocket in that room, like by the wall, that gets you soft locked, and people just assume like, okay, that's all you're gonna get. If you clip into the wall, you get soft locked. That's like the end of that. But then like I looked at it more, and like there are certain sub pixel ranges where you don't get caught in the room. You actually like fall deeper into the wall to like a part of the wall that you can actually zip through. And I'm like, holy shit. Wow. And like I try to apply that to my run like as quick as possible.
Oh yeah, for sure. Were you live streaming it, or was it just offline practice?
It was offline. I was like recording okay, no. So I wasn't recording. I was like just messing around. This is funny. And then I pulled it off. I'm like, wait, am I recording? Shit, I'm not. All right, I'm gonna like, I have to figure out how to replicate this guy. I have no idea. There was a good like week or two from the community trying to figure out a consistent way. People were thinking like really arbitrary things like, oh, if you jump on like frame 3 on this certain sub pixel value and you lightning jump on this exact frame while holding left on frame 2 and then hold right on the next frame, but you just have to just jump twice with good subpixels and that's it. Like there was like a lot of work that went into it, and then thankfully it's a simple solution.
It's a simple solution, right?
But subpixels still have to be aligned and in your favor. But if it is, then the trick's not that bad, which is like thank God for like the end of the level. But it can still kill runs if you have bad subpixels though, which kind of sucks though.
So with this grind, you've had 8. I mean, this is obviously what I've seen back then, not now. So this probably is a little bit higher, but from what I've seen, 8,000 attempts with Sonic 2, 4,000 attempts with Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I remember watching one of your Sonic 1 streams. It was early, a couple months ago, I guess. But you're probably in the thousands for that too. And then Mania. How do you keep having fun? I know it sounds really dumb, but how do you have fun with that still, like, and not get just completely tilted all the time?
Like I think a lot of like because I played the games for a good amount, and I can see like even when attempts are bad, I can see certain parts of the run where like if I pull that off, if I pull that bit into my PB run, my run can be improved tremendously or whatever. Even like runs that I'm currently doing. I'm playing Pocket Adventure currently, trying to get a good time for that. And I guess the thought process I have is that if I just put up with it, eventually I'm gonna succeed, right? I guess statistically, like if I just keep doing it, then eventually it'll all work out. The pieces will align, and then like it just puts me to the mentality that, well, this sucks. I'm frustrated, but it'll pan out eventually. And overall, like I just like the progression. The progression's like the funnest part of it, especially when you're learning a run for the first time. It's nice, like playing not great, but still having fun with it, because you're still like you're less sensitive because that you're not in your top level yet. So whenever something happens that's not a good thing, it's a time loss. It's like you're not affected because like you're not expecting much like week 1 of playing a new game. So as you keep playing it, eventually, the time goes lower and you set bigger expectations for yourself. I guess like I find some addiction of actually successfully pulling off those expectations. Yeah. Which is why like for this game specifically, the time I got for Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it's probably and still is my biggest achievement in speedrunning. I think sub 30 is an insanely incredible time to get. Could be lower, of course, but like I thought that like 30-minute in general was never going to be beaten, because I've spent years looking at the leaderboard, seeing like Mike 89's 36, Zaxxon's 34, 33s, a really like midish 30s. Like there's no way you can drop 3.5 minutes from that. Right. So seeing a sub 30 in this category was like blew my mind, like, because I was under the impression that like around when I had like a 31-minute time that like, no, there's no way 30-minute sub 30 would be possible. 30 is the max. It's never going to get lower until like I found more optimizations as I went. And then eventually it just happened. The run just came together because this was like 100th of attempts just trying to get to work out, and it all fell together. So when you got to the very end, when you're in a Death Egg Act 2 and you saw that it could be the sub 30, what was going through your mind? So like once so there's like a thing that I have for this category. There's a really precise trick in Death Egg 1 where you skip like a gravity room after the first wall zip. You can save like 7 seconds, 6, 7. I forget how much it saves. Yeah. But if you mess it up, soft lock. There's no in between. If you mess it up, you're soft locked. It's just dead. So I believe this was the best pace I've ever had going into Death Egg 1. So I was not taking any chances. After the wall zip finished, I was like, I'm not doing the gravity skip, which we term graviton, by the way. Okay. So I was not doing graviton. I'm gonna lose my 7 seconds and just go, which is the very few times I will back out on time save, because there's no way I'm risking it all for like something that requires good subpixels to work, and the run dies as my punishment, especially that late into the run. Yeah. No way. Yeah. So yeah, I was really nervous going into it. I was like, if you look at the VOD, I was kind of like huffing and puffing. Words like words aren't even coming out. And when I got to the boss of Act 2, not the final boss, but the boss where you are upside down, I was like, oh, yeah, come on, I'm almost fucking there. Like, just like I couldn't say words and I didn't want to.
Yeah.
It's like, because like if I mess this up, I'm never gonna live this down.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So like once it all worked out, it's like, oh, thank God, relief.
Yeah.
My pop off, you can say, it's like more subtle because it's like it's more like a thank fucking God it's over kind of thing rather than
totally.
like a hell yeah. So different pop off, but it's kind of the same energy though, like internally.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it.
Yeah.
So this is crazy. We're already at the end. That went by super quick.
Yeah, it went really fast. Yeah.
So there's like a whole entire other page of questions. But maybe another time. But so a couple things I want to get out of the way though before we say goodbye. Where can we find you? Your socials, Twitch, all those things. Where are you at? What are you on?
Yeah, sure. So I stream, and well, you can see my name up there, but twitch.tv/JoeyBaby69. I'm at this moment, at the time of recording this video, I'm grinding Pocket Adventure, and probably will go back to Mania, maybe Classic eventually. Okay. But yeah, I'm doing the Sonics there. My Twitter is at Baby69Joey, because JoeyBaby69 was taken somehow. I don't know how that happened. But yeah, my YouTube is also my same name on the top. Okay. But yeah, I upload. I wouldn't say I upload consistently, but you know, I provide whatever PB I get, and I've been leaning towards potentially making more videos relating to specific tricks. Yeah. Like I want to also like provide more. This is something that I've been having thoughts of doing for like a long while, is just like provide more like tutorials, more like things that help out runners who are wanting to come in, because I get questions a lot like, how do I do this, how do I do that? Yeah. And unfortunately my answer is usually like, go to the Discord, someone can answer your question, or I can probably try to answer it on the spot. Yeah. Because like I said, like the game has evolved a lot recently, so a lot of stuff that people are doing now aren't the same what people did then. Right. You can't just go watch a run and be like, I can figure this out now. Yeah, so, yeah, especially for Sonic 3, like there's like a lot to it, and like I do feel bad that I've left it the way, like I haven't like contributed enough like for like learning, like tutorial something, because like that stuff is invaluable. Right. Especially for people who don't want to feel like, okay, if I'm confused about something, I have to ask, instead of like, oh, here's a large array of videos that can help me out. Yeah. You know, input, display, and all that. Like that stuff is amazing stuff. Like I love a game that I'm currently learning to have that stuff. And for games that I have that doesn't really have a lot of that content, is like, you know, it's unfortunate. I feel like I want to provide a lot of that as well. So that's something that I have planned out for 2022. Just like kind of look back at a lot of runs and just kind of like break down a lot of things. I think like not only that it'll be helpful, but I think it's just more constant to the channel, I guess. It'd be something that would be really nice to have. Totally. I wouldn't have gotten, I just started speedrunning Sonic Adventure DX, and I don't think I would have gotten as deep into it as I have been. It's like a rabbit hole. If it wasn't for G-Pro's tutorial for it. But one last thing to mention, you're up for a GDQ hotfix soon. You're going to be running, as you mentioned, Pocket Adventure. Right. When is that? When is that happening? Yeah, so this Saturday, January 22nd, they're around, let me think of it. So at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at GDQ's channel on Twitch, there's going to be a hotfix called Going Places, which Hibnotix is in charge of. Hibnotix is also someone you're going to be maybe interviewing later. Maybe. He's doing a hotfix for dubbed the Classic Sonic Extravaganza, which is a compilation of classic handheld Sonic games. That'll be a Sega Sonic the Hedgehog race between Spectrum and S2, and S2 will also be doing Sonic Blast and Sonic Drift. And at the end of the hotfix, I'll be doing Sonic Pocket Adventure, which is what I'm currently going into at the moment. Sweet. That's gonna be. I can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be super fun. Shore and Tej both say they love you and are arguing about who loves you more. Yeah. I haven't made my comment, but shout out to the guys in chat. Like, these guys are like second family to me. These guys are, I don't know. We've joked, we talked, we like, I don't know, we looked at strats. I don't know, like we've known each other for a long time. So you know, these guys are everything to me. These guys are the homies, the bros.
The homies. We love the homies. Yeah.
And T just specifically the daddy. I don't know, just currently a meme I've been having with him. Like, oh, everyone's like, yo, what's up? Yo, what's good? And oh, Teach, oh, daddy, or whatever. Like, I just, he's the only person I do it with. I don't know why.
Oh yeah, you know how it goes. You know how it goes. We need to have those nonsensical jokes. But all right, well that wraps